Guys, we were at a church. It says heat is on. They have two oil furnaces, twin oil furnaces that are not coming on. We're going to try to figure out why that is. Bad news, we have our two furnaces here. And the floor seems flooded because the outdoor grade is higher than in here, and the floor floods every time there's a lot of rain. It's been doing a lot of raining here lately, so we shall see. I tell you what, if your red wire is sticking out like this, furnace is probably not going to run. Call me crazy. I just think it's not going to run. I don't know why someone did this. Maybe they were helping by making sure no one could run it. Let's find out why. Well, the furnace is running. It started right up. So we're going to see why it is so disconnected. I'm going to go take a look outside at the chimney and see how it's looking coming out. Guys, we have the first oil furnace running in heat. We're going to let it run for a while and monitor it with the Testo 320. Real hot flue temperatures on these things. We will see how she performs, and then we'll move on to the next one, which is not coming on. Our machine's been running for about 10 minutes or so. It looks like it might be running a little bit on the lean side, but putting out no CO whatsoever, and definitely not putting out any smoke. So we have to move on to the next machine because they complained there was some black smoke, but they were pressing the button to reset it over and over again is what she said, so that could explain some of our smoke. But we'll see. This one doesn't look like the culprit. Guys, we've set up our probes on the ductwork here. About as high as I can reach that supply probe. I'd really like to put it a little bit higher, but unless I get a ladder in here and sit it in the mush, it's not going to be put up that high. We have a temperature spread of 93 degrees, but on a furnace like this, that is 250,000 BTU input, output of 200,000 BTUs, the CFM would be calculated as roughly 2,000 CFM, which is right because we have a 5-ton AC outside. So, warm. That's why you can't use those certain drain pans on oil furnaces. We're going to let it run for a little while. And of course, oil furnaces aren't my specialty. So, all you out there that have any tips on oil furnaces, go ahead and give them to me. I'm just going to go through my call. I'm more of a heat pump gas furnace kind of guy. But I want to make sure these are checked as thoroughly as I can. Well, we got good flow of oil. Transformer works. So that leads me to believe that we have a funky nozzle, which is a shame because we just changed the nozzle not too long ago, so we'll take a look at it. See the nozzle here, it's usually a gold color, but you see so much black crap all over it. That definitely need to switch it out. And most likely need to switch out that filter too, except I don't have one of those, I don't think. I had to go over to the old shop after the fire. I had to move things over to my new house, but I do believe I have another nozzle. We'll go see if we can't get the fire on. Guys, I have my nozzles now. I have 3 left. At the time when I started servicing these furnaces, I made sure I bought a few nozzles because basically these are the only oil furnaces I have. So I try to keep a few parts. You know, I have the primary control for the furnace, an extra transformer. We used one of the transformers already. Had to change burner motors on one of them one time. But so I try to keep a few things laying around for them. But hopefully one day they'll change them out because they're really not needed down here. I mean, they have natural gas at the street, so it'd be nice to have a couple furnaces in there instead. I have a new nozzle in there, as you can see. I blew the gun out with nitrogen just to make sure there was nothing else stuck in there because we were getting a good oil flow to the machine itself. But there's our old nozzle. We'll go fit this thing up and make sure everything's good. Alright guys, both furnaces are up and running. The nozzle was occluded, that's why this one wasn't firing. Well, it would fire then stop, fire then stop. One thing that I learned from Steve Lab is that sometimes people push these buttons over and over again and there'll be some raw oil in the heat exchanger. You have to let it burn off, which is a good idea because it was literally burning without the thing running. So I burned off the rest of that oil, which can be a little bit of a dangerous situation, looks like. Because I know learning on the job is number one. But some of these people that hit these buttons over and over again, I can see how that could be a very dangerous situation for the guy coming in to take a look at it. But she's running okay now. There's no smoke. But definitely someone's been trigger happy with the button on this one. But they're both running. This one's shut down right now just so I can test the other one. And we'll turn them both on at the same time and see how they do. because we are joined to one oil line, which is another concern of mine. I would think that would be better to have a filter for each furnace. You guys can let me know, but I'm no expert at this stuff. It just seems like something that'd be logical.